When I'm on Dancing with the Stars, you need to pull the plug on me.
It's all over.
It's done. It's done and scene.
So was there a time where you felt yourself become the pro, that you like made a transition and all of a sudden you were a working actor and you were part of the industry, really?
The strange thing is, you're always part of the industry, but it doesn't mean it's going to be consistent. So you'll do a show, my first show was Pearl with Rhea Perlman. It was a sitcom, and it was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm a regular on a show, and then that show gets pulled, and then you get onto something else, and then you hit Ally McBeal, and that will be a huge hit, and then you'll go on to movies, and you'll come back. I mean, it's sort of like it's a constant game of roulette. You never know what you're going to get. If you're going to put your money down, you can put your money down, and you can keep playing for as long as you want, and you can walk away from the table. And for me, it's just impossible because I don't know what else I would love more. And I think if once the passion dies for me, yes, I'll do something else. But it hasn't yet because there's so much to be explored, and there's so many ways to communicate that, and there's so many other opportunities to discover. I think as an individual to discover yourself in this medium.
So you've found the excitement over the years in project after project after project.
I do. And also, what I've also found is this is something that I don't think that I'll do again. Like, you know what I mean? This is probably not the way I'll do this again. You sort of like, you taste something and maybe it's not for you. And you end up working with people that you really enjoy, and you keep working with them in different formats and different mediums.
So are you outcome oriented in terms of the product? Do you?
No, I mean, I can't be honestly, because you'll do a movie and you don't even know if it's going to get bought, or once it's bought, maybe nobody will go and see it. So there's very many levels of disappointment. There's steps of all of these things can happen, but it could be a huge movie that you're doing and nobody will go see it. So it really varies, or you do your absolute goal. And for me, the creative aspect of something is the pinnacle, is probably the most extreme sport for me.
Did you enjoy the Fame game as you got into it, or is that a distraction, or just something that's part of the work, or?
I think it's very strange because you start out. It's an intimate lifestyle, because you go to set and you create this family with all the people that you work with, and then you're basically dispersing entertainment. Hopefully, whatever you're doing is entertaining, whatever it's drama or comedy or action, anything like that. Whether it's television, theater, film, indies. And then when you get people who are excited about your work, that's wonderful too. But then when it gets to the point where people start to say, well, this person can only do this, or this person, or they become crazy, and you don't have any privacy, and people are photographing you, when you're with your family or friends in your own private time, it's sort of, that becomes a little bit off. And I know it's part of the system, and I know people have said that too, but it's so hard because you can't really have an off day. People will come up to you. You don't know if God forbid, a close family relative just died, and they want to take a picture, and they want to, and it's like, I'm helping somebody right now who just, whose leg got amputated. Can you just give me a minute?
Yeah.
You just don't know. But
I always love I know you're at dinner, but it always seems to me that I see that a lot happening with actors. It's like, I don't really want to interrupt you. I'm really trying to be nice, but I know you're in the middle of a bite, but can you sign this?
Most people are incredibly kind, and they're very sweet, so that's never a problem. I think that it just gets really disruptive when you don't have privacy in terms of really photographers, because your life isn't really a reality show. And for me, I tried to stay away from, that kind of a trendy environment and things like that, because I don't know that it also cooperates with what I'm doing. In terms of, like, if you go and see me in something, then you're like, oh, she's dating so-and-so, and she just, ate 10 hamburgers, and her favorite place to eat is, you know what I mean? Like, it becomes part of the episode or part of the movie, and that shouldn't be. The character should be whatever it stands for. It shouldn't be that kind of a distraction.
So did you feel typed for a while there? I mean, it seemed like the fierceness and the kind of comedic style of the Ally McBeal character kind of became your image for a while. That it seemed like people wanted to cast you over and over again as the feisty Asian girl with a smart mouth.
I think it's okay. Smart, I think it's okay to be feisty. I think it's okay to be spicy. I think all those things are wonderful. I think it's just the way you play it. I think it also makes a difference in how you portray a character. If you can't bring something special to the character, then to me it's not worth doing. And I don't think it always succeeds. I mean, you'll do something and you're hoping that it will, somehow come together, but you don't know in the grand scheme of things. You don't know what's happening behind the editor. And people will say, oh, "What are you working on?" I'll never tell them after it comes out, because you never, you don't know if you're going to end up on the edit floor. So I don't know. I think that there is something really, wonderful about being able to do action, being able to be pretty fierce, being able to, because I don't know that everyone is always going to believe so-and-so is doing an action movie. That doesn't fly. And that's why I think Watson is such an interesting place to be right now, because I can be a more of an internal character and not sort of play this, the stereotype of what people have thought in the past. Other things that I have done have not been as you described. They were a little bit more comedic, but
Right.
they might not be as popular. They may not have been sold. They're there, but they just haven't been as embraced by the audience.
What's fun, I know it seems like sometimes people hit a moment, and that becomes the thing that everybody wants to, Hollywood always wants to type everybody, always wants to put them in the box. And it seems like you've worked pretty hard to avoid the box. And this show, more than anything, this show really, as I say, it's not the show that you necessarily expect either from the Holmes Watson thing or from, you as an actress, your history as an actress. It's kind of like, oh, this is actually refreshingly, quality drama.
That's
and
nice,
not,
thanks.
Well, I mean, it just feels like there's a real sincere effort there, as opposed to kind of what we expect or what we're been told we should expect or whatever.
I think there's something really wonderful about people loving to see your character kick ass. I think there's something wonderful about, for me, going to see a movie where there's action, and it's sort of the adrenaline of that and the excitement of that, because it's sort of larger than life. I think watching characters be larger than life is exciting because it takes you out of your own world. But I also think that, the challenge for me and for my team was not so much being able to do this character, but being able to show other people that this is possible too. And to me, I don't know if it's about stereotyping. It's about feeling comfortable. If somebody's comfortable with that and they know that that's a box office sale and that's something that they can deliver, let's hire that person.
Right.
So it becomes, like if you know that you're going to have this cereal and it's going to taste like this and you want exactly that, then why not buy it?
Right.
And I understand that, but it's sort of like you can never make that taste very different. But as an actor, the whole point is to be able to change and to represent yourself in a different way. And that's all about taking chances.
Well, it seems the action people you have worked with have been pretty high level. I mean, you seem to have made pretty good choices in terms of who
I've been
you want
very
to work
lucky.
with.
I've worked with great people. One of my biggest heroes, to be honest, was Jackie Chan. Just growing up watching him in Drunken Master was just it was really a thrill for me.
So does it all seem in perspective what you expected when you were 20 years old or
No,
17?
It's much bigger than I ever imagined. I never thought that, when you think you want to become an actress, you know what direction you want to go in, but you forget that I never made a list of the people that I wanted to work with. And I've gotten so lucky, and I didn't really imagine specific people, and they really change your life and they become part of your life, and that becomes your family. And you might not see them again for a while, but you always have that contact and that connection. And that some of the directors I've worked with. So it's been a real dream come true, to be honest.
And your parents now approve?
Well, my parents don't understand what I'm doing exactly, but I have to say that my mother loves the show. She used to watch Columbo, and it was, for her, it was her favorite thing. And I think having a mystery and the idea of, something comes up, there's a crime, it's solved. She can make sense of that, and that's great. I don't need to explain it to her. Like 3 girls running around, trying to solve doesn't make sense to her. This makes sense to her.
But you probably have to explain to her Holmes' girls that come in and out of the house. Or she
I
doesn't
have
want to hear
to
about that.
explain a lot of other things, but this show she seems to understand quite clearly, and that means I'm doing something right for her, and that's nice because that means she gets to share in something after 20 odd years of not really understanding what I was doing.
But you seem pretty clear on it.
I've been very clear from the very beginning, and I feel like, you know, every day I have more clarity on it. You know, that's what I was saying. It's so fresh, and it's, I don't know, every day there's something more inviting about what I've decided to do with my life in this career.